Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I know it has been a while since I posted since my last orchid video, but I realized I don't really have a lot of early spring blooming orchids in my collection. Finally something bloomed, so I cannot wait to show you. And this is Cymbidium ensifolium. And I had two before, but then I just put them in my in-laws yard in Florida. But this one I really like, and hopefully this is a keeper. And let me go down the reasons why I really like it. Okay, first of all, this is a really robust plant with healthy looking leaves. And you know, like as orchid growers, we all are taught patience by the plants, by nature. And I think it's really important that you like the plant when it's not in bloom, because especially for some of the annual bloomers, you have to take care of it when it's not in bloom for almost a year, and the flower will last maybe a month if you're lucky. And that's it. So you really have to like the plant when it's not in bloom. I do like this plant when it's not in bloom. It looks like a really elegant version of a grass. And you know, grass can get really floppy and rambly and stuff, but this one doesn't. I really like that. Second of all is that when it does bloom, it's whole new another world. Another whole new world? Anyways, the flower is not that, striking. It's actually I would say an alba version. It's a greenish white, whitish green, but let me zoom in on one flower. You'll see it doesn't really have any spots, and most Cymbidiums do have spots either on their lips or on their sepals petals, especially on their lips, or stripes, but this one doesn't have any spots. I think in traditional culture for the appreciation of these Asian Cymbidiums, people like it alba, but I don't really care about the color. Why I like this one is the fragrance, because I'm not a bird trying to see a flower in the jungle. I know the flower is there, I just really want to smell it as well. And this one smells so strong. Every morning, since like a little bit before sunrise until maybe 10-11 a.m., it fills the entire area. It's so strong that I cannot escape it. And sometimes there are flowers that are really strong when you're up close, but they don't really waft that well. Like, you don't notice it when you are a little bit farther away from it. But this one, you definitely notice it no matter close or far. And it's just in the air, and it reminds you of its presence. I just love it. And also some other reasons is that this is a relatively bigger flower for Cymbidium ensifolium. If you use my hand for comparison, it's not huge. It's by no means, but it's relatively big. And we all like big flowers, at least I do. Anyways, so those are the main reasons why I like this one. And also just, like side note, usually when they don't have any colors on the flower, they smell stronger, especially in this group of Cymbidiums. I don't know if it holds true for all the other species, but for this one especially true, because I guess, in nature, it needs the scent to attract the pollinators a little bit more than just the color itself. Okay, so this is my Cymbidium. And, in terms of culture, pretty standard. I would say Oncidium care, or like low light Callia care, or even highlight Phalaenopsis. It's not really picky. Just like water it when it's dry, and don't put it in the direct sunlight. I used to have a spot, but I just get blasted with sun in the spring and fall time because of the angle of the sun, and of course in the winter. But it's not that wintry. It's not that sunny in the winter here. Also today is just a typical overcast gray day in the spring in the northeast. So sorry about a little bit darker lighting, but I digress. Okay, so light, it just don't give it direct light, it burns. Other than that, it's pretty not picky. It's still early in the morning, I guess. It's really not picky. And just, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I have this special spot upstairs that just gets the perfect light for it, I think. It's really happy. It has put out 4 new growth out of 5 pseudobulbs that were there, and I only had it for a few months. So I think I like it. And the other thing about these species, about these orchids, is that they flower on and off throughout the year. And this one usually starts in June until maybe early November, or late November, depending on how warm it is and all. But this is still early April, and when this spike initiated, it was late March, and I was really happy because maybe I'm taking good care of it, or maybe because my apartment is so warm now, it thinks it's springtime. I mean, it's summertime. But usually a summer and fall bloomer, but they just put out spikes, a few times a year. Sometimes we think of callias. If you think of a frequent bloomer, maybe Callia clandii, when they get really big, it can flower up to 4 times a year. This can easily top that, and this does not need all the finicky care a clandii needs. Well, actually, my clandia is pretty robust too. But my point is that this flowers on and off throughout the summer and fall. It definitely flowers more than once. Each pseudobulb will flower once, and it grows a lot of pseudobulbs. Also, depending on the cultivar, there are ones that are a little bit more finicky and lazier. But yeah, this is great. I love it. I guess I don't have anything else to say about this plant, so let me show you my other plants. As I was saying earlier, I don't have a lot of early spring bloomers, especially orchids. My jasmine is doing great, but drum roll, look at this Brassavola appendiculata / cuculata. I got it last year when I was in Florida, and now it's already blooming again off of the same pseudobulb that flowered last year. And I think one great thing about Brassavola cuculata / appendiculata is that they can flower from, old spikes. And of course, the spike is hitting the sheath, and there's no certain way to tell if this is gonna flower or not. But this one flowered again, and I'll take the win. And this flower really just opened last night, and it's already starting to smell. It hasn't filled the room yet, but we'll see what happens tonight. And another Brassavola that is also entering blooming mode is this, where's my finger? This Brassavola tuberculata. I go through orchids, and sometimes, like a discovery journey, I don't keep all of them, despite I like all of them, but it's really a chore to take care of all of them. I don't have the time or energy. But this is a keeper because once it starts blooming, it will bloom throughout the summer until the nights cools down, or I guess until the days get shorter because the nights in the apartment doesn't cool down that much. This is a really robust species, and I love it. Do I have anything else? I guess this is it. And also, just one side note, my catasediums are all finally awake because I had this. Well, might as well show you if you will follow me for 1 minute. I got this Chloecia rosseliana last year from Sunset Valley Orchids. This is one of the summer blooming Chloecias with really dense spikes, inflorescence that's pendulous, that's really gorgeous and fragrant, like medicinal fragrance, like typical for the Catasidianae. But this one was not waking up, despite all the other ones were waking up, and there's another one back there. Finally, I saw the little bud, and it's awake. At least it's awake. We'll see if it's happy once it's awake, but at least it's awake. Okay, on that note, I will stop there and hope you enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.